In this video, as you can see in the preview on the screen, you're gonna create a really cool menu with animations and effects. We're also gonna make it responsive so it'll work also on mobile devices. By the way, before we get started, you can now get the source code of this video and all the others. The link will be in the description. Down below you can also find affiliate links to really interesting things, including amazing learning platforms where you can take your skills to the next level. So go and check them out down below because you don't want to miss them. Okay, so here I've already linked all the style sheets I need as usual. So the Font Awesome style sheet and the main.css file. Live server is running and also Prettier is running as well. I've made videos about Font Awesome, Prettier, Live server, so I'll leave the links in the description box down below, especially Font Awesome, because you need to know what style sheets you need, how to download them, etc, etc. As you can see, this is the structure of my project. So the index.html, then the images, a folder with pizza, which is what I'm going to use, then the CSS with the Font Awesome folder and the main.css file. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do something like this. So body div with the ID main container. Instead of this, another div with the ID content container like this. Instead of this, another div ID, in this case, content overlay, and then you'll see why we need that. Then the header inside the nav, and then inside the nav, an anchor tag with the hash sign like this, home, and then another with the ID menu btn like this, and also inside of this, we're going to place the Font Awesome icon. So I'm going to show you where we can find it. So let's go here. As you can see up here, fontawesome.com, icons, then you search for the icon you want. So in this case, I want bars like this. All right, so I want the free version, which is only this one. You can find the one that you like. You go down here, you click on it, copy it, then we go back here, and inside of that, we paste it. Okay, so the header is done. So let's see what we actually get. As you can see, this is what we get. Pretty cool, right? Then here we're going to do something like this. That's actually okay. So ID content. Then inside of here, an H1 with best ways to make pizza from scratch like this. Pretty cool. So image and then images. And then pizza.jpg, then paragraph. Let's actually just do something like lorem, 300. Maybe it's just too much. Let's actually do something like that. Okay. Then I'm just going to copy this, another paragraph down here, like that. Perfect. And this is what we actually get. Okay. Then after the divs, which is this div, so the content container, we are still inside the main container. Okay, so after this div here, still inside the main container, we're going to add another div with the ID menu container, and inside this ID close menu, and then here another Font Awesome icon. So let's close that. Let's search for X mark down here. We copy that and then we paste that there. All right. Then we've got nav. Of course, these are all like hash signs, but of course you would have your own links, right? So home. Then let's do something like this. So recipes, services. Okay, to make that more real, right? So basically this is what we get. And as you can see, you've got this menu down here. Okay, so now that we've got the HTML in place, we can go to the main.css file. So here, By the way, if you like the content of this channel and you want to support it, you can get the source code of the video or you can send me a small one-off donation. The link will be down in the description. You can become a member of my Patreon, but you can even use the affiliate links below to join amazing learning platforms and other cool stuff. So all the links will be in the description box down below, so go and check them out, and thank you so much for the support. So first of all, let's reset a few properties. So box sizing, border box. I actually like to do that. You can do even more reset if you want. Then the body, I'm just going to have the background color, and this background color is going to be 5A32EB. Okay, that nice color there. The main container is going to be width 100% like this, then position relative. All right, because then we're going to use absolute on one of the children. Okay, then content container, this is going to be width 100%, then mean height 100% of the viewport height, background color white, position relative, display, it's going to be flex direction, column, align items center, and then of course transition, transform, 1 second, box shadow 0.5 seconds, and of course the transform, we're going to do something like scale 1 and then translate x 0, okay, because then we're going to change them and we're going to see a cool animation, right? Okay, so now the header, content header, and we're going to do like something like this. The background color is going to be 5B66FD, display flex direction, column, and then align items center. Now that we've got this, we are going to style the nav. So content container, the nav navigation, then width 100%, height 70 pixels, padding 10 pixels, 30 pixels, then display flex, justify content, space between, and then align items center. A little bit better, right? Here you've got the links that now we're going to style. So we need to style the links. So content like this, container A like that, and then text decoration none. I don't want the underline or the colors, etc. 25 pixels, color white, and also we want the menu btn. So the icon of the menu, we want that to be a little bit bigger. Okay, so much better, right? At least we've got the menu done. By the way, just a side note, on Firefox on Windows, this scroll bar by default has the same color as the background of the body. Okay, so this same color here. And here I am on Linux. So as you can see, the scroll bar has this dark color. Okay, it could be either dark or light, but as I said, on Windows, specifically on Firefox, the scroll bar has that bluish color and it doesn't look great because the background is white, as you can see. On other browsers, this shouldn't be a problem because I've tested it a bit and it looks like the color of the scroll bar doesn't change like that. So this sort of problem should be only on Firefox, as I said, specifically on Windows, because here you don't have that problem. And luckily on Firefox, you can change the color of the scroll bar, and this works on Linux as well. On other browsers, this is still not possible, but also the color doesn't change automatically, so you shouldn't need to do this, right? So to change the color of the scroll bar, we can actually do that up here. We're going to do HTML scroll bar color, and I'm going to give it a light gray and white. So as you can see, that changed also here on Linux. As you can see, it changed. Let's actually try red, so you can actually see that it really changes. So as you can see, now it's red and yellow. This doesn't look great, but just to show you, okay? And you could even do something like scroll bar with none to make it invisible, so you don't see the scroll bar. or thin, which is thinner, as you can see. But as I said, this doesn't work on other browsers, only on Firefox. At least in the documentation, etc., there isn't compatibility with other browsers, just with Firefox. The others are testing it, but I don't know when they will actually support that, okay? But now you know that you can do that, because otherwise, as I said, you would have a white background here and this big scroll bar with this sort of blue color that doesn't look great at all, right? Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, we can carry on with the actual video. So after we've done that, we can actually style the content, and the content is going to be 100% max width pixels, padding is going to be 10 pixels, 30 pixels, 100 pixels, and 30 pixels. Then display is going to be flex, of course. Then flex direction is going to be column, like that, and then align items is going to be center. A little bit better, right? Down here, as you can see, you still have the menu, but don't worry, we'll fix that. Then content, the H1 margin 30 pixels 0, then font size, let's make it bigger like that, and then text align center. All right, then the image, content image with 100%, and then margin bottom 30 pixels like that. If you're enjoying the video, please let me know by clicking the like button, and also subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this one. And then now let's style the menu container. So position absolute, because we're actually going to move it around a little bit. Then the top is going to be 30 pixels, right is going to be minus 200 pixels, and then transition right, which is what we'll use. So 1 second. So as you can see, the menu is not here anymore, but as you can see, you can sort of see that up here. But now we need to style the actual navigation. So menu, container, nav, display, flex, padding, top is going to be 80 pixels, height 100%, flex direction, column, and then justify content, start like that. So by doing this, let's save it. As you can see, the menu is not there anymore. It's hidden outside of the screen, but there is a problem. Since we have content on the right, okay, we can actually scroll that way and you can sort of see that, okay? You can see the content here, because basically the main container ends here and basically you've got this overflowing. It doesn't look great because if you just scroll that way, you can see that. So how can we actually fix that? We can actually go up here, main container, okay, overflow, X, hidden. Basically everything that overflows on the X axis will be hidden. So as you can see, we cannot scroll that anymore because now it's over here, but you cannot scroll because it's hidden. So that's another thing. Then let's go down here. By the way, a little reminder, you can now get the source code of this video and all the others. The link will be down in the description. So now that we've got that, we can actually style the links. So the text decoration is going to be none. The font size 24 pixels. The color is going to be white. The padding 10 pixels, 0, 10 pixels, 0. Transform, translate 0. Transition form 0.2 seconds, okay, 200 milliseconds. And this is basically because we want to actually make a cool animation when we hover over the links. So in this case, we're actually going to do that here, hover, and we can do something like transform, translate X, 10 pixels. Actually here, we can actually write X, translate X, 0, 10 pixels. All right. And then last but not least, we need to style the close menu icon, and it's going to be white, font size to be bigger, then top minus 10 pixels, right, 110 pixels, Actually, it's better to just place position absolute down up there. It's better like that. So the position of the closed menu icon is relative to the menu container, because the menu container up here is position absolute as well. So then this is relative to this, and this is relative to the container of this. So the main container, basically, okay? Because the main container has the position relative here. So this, and then this, okay? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now that we've got that, as you can see, we've got this, but we cannot see the menu over there. So we need to actually style the menu when the menu is open. And of course, to change the style, we're going to add a new class with JavaScript when we click on the button. And at the moment though, I'm just going to add it manually in the HTML file. So up here, we can actually add to the main container the class menu open. Okay, so we can actually see what we get, and then we'll actually write the JavaScript to do that when we click on the button. So let's go back here. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do something like main container with the class menu open. Then the menu container is going to be right 135 pixels. Okay, so when the menu container has the class open, then the menu container is going to be right 135 pixels. As you can see, you've got the menu here. Okay, of course you cannot see that anything because we need to move everything left. Okay, then the main container with the class menu open again, but in this case content container, and now this is going to be fun. So transform scale 0.8 and then translate x minus 250 pixels. As you can see, we get this. So this is the final, let's say, result. As you can see here, you've got that. Then let's actually add the shadow as well, and then I'm going to show you one thing that you need to be aware of. So 0.7. Okay, so as you can see, you've got this cool shadow around, but there is a problem. As you can see, now you can still scroll up and down. So this is the content container, this whole thing here. And of course, the content container stretches to basically hold the whole content, but we don't want that. We actually want just the part that we see before scaling. So we want this part, and then all the content down here, we want to hide that, okay? So we actually want just this part, we want to freeze that, and then we want this part, this visible part to scale and then translate here, but we don't want this content, we just want this, okay? So how can we actually do that? First of all, we want the height of the content container to be this, so from here to here, so the visible part. And we can actually do that using height 100% of the viewport. So now the height of the content container is this. In fact, if we scroll down, as you can see, this is where the content container ends, and this is overflow, but we don't actually want to see the overflow. We want the content to sort of stop here, and everything below that, we want to hide that. And how can we actually do that? We can actually do that by doing something like overflow hidden, like this. As you can see now, you cannot scroll up and down because the content down here is hidden. And if we transform, then as you can see down here, you don't have the content. So this is basically what you were seeing before the transformation took place. And the viewport height is from here to here. Of course, now it's scaled down to 80%. Okay, so that's why it's smaller. And if you remove the overflow hidden, as you can see, you still get the same thing, the same content, but down here, you still have content that is overflowing the container, and you can still scroll up and down. So that's why I actually wrote hidden. I hope that makes sense. And now you cannot scroll up and down. There is also another problem, which is that you basically can select things inside of here. So as you can see, you can select that, you can do whatever inside of here. Okay, you can click the buttons, you can do whatever inside of this. We don't actually want that. And do you remember that overlay that we added in the HTML file? So content overlay, as you can see here. So we're going to do something like main container menu open, content, overlay, and this is going to be position, absolute, top 0, bottom 0, and then it's going to be right 0 and left 0. So basically we stretch it to cover the whole container. Cursor is going to be pointer. So let's actually see what we get. So as you can see now, we cannot select anything because over here, you don't see that, but there is an overlay, an invisible overlay. And as you can see, the cursor changes because then we want to be able to click on the X here and on this here to actually close the menu. So that's what we actually want to do. So now before we go and write the JavaScript code, we can write a few media queries to make this responsive, because let's actually open the developer tools. So over here, you can actually click the responsive design mode. Let's actually start from this. Okay. So basically now this is centered, but if you do this, as you can see, it goes left, 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 and it reaches this point, and it doesn't look great. So what do we need to do? We actually need to write a few media queries that will recenter things every once in a while. So let's say that we want to recenter it when it's like this, we want to recenter it a little bit. Then when it's like this, we want to recenter it a little bit, etc. You can do that as many times as you want, even every 100 pixels. It doesn't make sense to me, but if you want to do that, just do it. So let's go back to the main.css file, like here, and we are going to write a few media queries, and then we can have a look at the JavaScript code to do everything. So min with pixels, like that. Header, nav. This is actually another thing that I wanted to do. So this is not for the menu, but this is to change the padding of the NavBar, and you'll see what I mean later on. Then we can actually do something like this. So let's copy this. Okay, so here I'm gonna write max. That's fine like that. And here, instead of header and nav, we're going to write close menu I, like this. And then down here, we're going to write main container menu open menu container, right, 110 pixels. And here we're going to change that, and this is going to be right minus 80 pixels. Okay, so let's see what we actually get. So we start from here and we go back down, down, down with the width. So if we go down, as you can see, it sort of recenters things. Okay, so I'm aiming to actually keep this menu sort of in the center. Okay, so as you can see, it's recentered. Okay, and then I want to do that every 400 pixels. So 1000, and this is going to be 60, and this is going to be 90 pixels. And then I actually want to do that 600 pixels for the last time, 40 and 70. Okay, so let's actually zoom that. As you can see, 1000, it goes a little bit there, and then 600, same thing. So then now with the iPad, this looks like that. With the iPhone, it looks like that. So it looks fine. All right, that's pretty cool in my opinion. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way and we made it responsive, we can actually add the code to actually open it by clicking on the actual button, because now it's just like that. Okay, so let's go back here. Perfect. By the way, if you like the content of this channel and you want to support it, you can get the source code of the video, or you can send me a small one-off donation. The link will be down in the description. You can become a member of my Patreon, but you can even use the affiliate links below to join amazing learning platforms and other cool stuff. So all the links will be in the description box down below, so go and check them out, and thank you so much for the support. So first of all, we need to remove the class from here because we're going to add it using JavaScript. So this is what we've got now. Perfect. And now we actually need to go back here, down here, script. You can actually make your own file if you don't want to write it down here. I've just decided to write it down here. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna get a few things that I need. So menu, btn, document, query selector, then menu, btn, then we can actually duplicate that. So here it's main container. The selector is main container, of course. Then close menu btn, and this is, of course, close menu, and this is content overlay, and the overlay like this. Then after that, we actually need to add an event listener. Add event listener. When we click, of course, I need also to write event here. I need that because now I need to do something like prevent default, because of course when I click on the link, I don't want it to behave like a link, a real link, but I want it to do what I'm actually going to write. So the main container, class list, add, menu open. Then down here, let's actually copy this. I'm going to do something like close menu button. Same thing, but of course I want to remove like this. And the same thing for the overlay. So content overlay, I want to remove the menu open. So let's see what we actually get. And I can already tell you that there is a thing that we need to fix. So let's go here. So when we click on this, this works like a charm. So let's actually close here. So when you click here, that works. But there is a problem. As you can see, when you click on the button to close it, there is a sort of movement down, like it goes down straight away. And then down here, you can see already the overflow or the content down here. So look down here. Did you see that? And also here, you can tell that it goes down straight away and then it goes up. Did you see that? It doesn't look great. But why does it happen? Because basically, when we remove the class menu open, okay, let's go back here. Here, right? So when we add the class menu open, then the height is 100% of the viewport straight away and the overflow hidden straight away. The same thing happens when you actually remove the class open. So basically the height 100% goes away straight away, and then the content height is used, and the overflow goes from hidden to visible straight away. You don't have something in between. Like in this case, the transform, the box shadow, you can have steps, all right? And there is an animation. So it starts 40 pixels, then 39, 38, etc. And then the scale, the same thing, goes 0.8, 0.81, 0.82. Of course, it does smaller steps. So basically, when you click here or here to close the menu, then the overflow goes visible straight away, and then the height goes content height straight away. And you see that thing here. So it's like, now it's hidden, visible straight away. 100% of the viewport height, content height straight away. Okay. So we want actually to wait until the animation finishes, and then we actually want to go back to the height of the content and to overflow visible. Okay, so we want hidden, hidden, visible. Okay, 100% of the viewport height, content height when the animation finishes. So how can we actually do that? One solution is to add another class, main container. And I'm going to call it delay. You can call it whatever you want. Content. Okay. And these things here, I'm going to place them here. We've separated the two things. So these properties are added when the menu open is added, and they are removed when the menu open is removed. These two things are added when the delay class is added, and then removed when the delay class is removed. And we are going to delay that so that this class is removed after all the animations finish. Okay, so now we've got that class, we actually need to add it. So here we can add the class delay. And of course, here, when we click the close menu button, we want, as I said, a delay, because otherwise, if we actually remove the class delay straight away, it works the same as earlier, right? So we want to do something like window, like this. The timeout is going to be 100 milliseconds, like this. And we want to do something like main container, class list, remove, delay. And we want to do the same exact thing when we click here, okay? So basically what happens? We click on the menu button, the class menu open is added, the class delay is added. So all of these properties are added straight away. Okay, so we've got that effect. Then when we click the button to actually close the menu, then the class menu open is removed straight away. So basically these things go back to normal and you've got the animation of just those two things. Then there is a timer going, and after 1 second, the class delay is removed, and then these two things are removed, and you go back to normal. So you go back to the content height and to overflow visible. So basically you don't see that because you sort of remove them after the animation has finished. So let's actually see if that works. So let's see. Okay, so now both classes are added. So you've got menu open and delay. But when we click on this to actually close the menu, look down here so we can see if that works. As you can see, we don't see that sudden movement down. So basically now when you click on this, you remove the class menu open straight away, so the animation starts, but then you wait 1 second and then the overflow becomes visible and the actual height becomes the content height and not the viewport height anymore. All right. So it's like overflow hidden, 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 visible. Okay. So you sort of delay the change of these two properties, so the overflow and the height, until the animation has finished. And then when you remove them, you don't see anything changing, but under the hood, actually you're changing things because now you can actually scroll, and here you cannot scroll, right? So now on the screen, you should see another video about web development. So go and watch that. Also, check out all the links in the description box down below if you want to become a better programmer and take your programming skills to the next level. And also if you want to support the channel as well. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.